Golf Podcast, presented by Golficity, where we bring you the tips, instruction, and support you need to get the most out of your golf game. And now your hosts, Frank and Mike.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Golf Podcast. This is episode 171. We've got an exciting episode for you tonight. We're going to reveal Mike's huge dream come true prize that he won yesterday. Plus, we had a chance to hang out with and interview Paige Spiranac at a fun event in New York City hosted by our friends at 18Birdies, which we're going to be playing and talking about shortly. We're going to talk to John Haywood from 18Birdies, who's the director of product development. He's going to give us a 3 to 5 minute synopsis talking about how the app works. But first, we need to raise our glasses once again. Cheers to an awesome prize pack won from 18Birdies, and cheers with some vino courtesy of tonight's show sponsor, nakedwines.com.
And yes, Frank, cheers indeed. But before we talk about the excitement from yesterday, I want to give love to nakedwines.com. I mean, how many of you out there drink wine? I mean, we all do. Let's be honest. And how many of us really know what wines that we should buy, try, stay away from just in order to please our taste? Well, let's face it, we're clueless. I mean, I know I am, Frank. I grab an $8 bottle of common brand name wine and just move on with my day. What about you?
Absolutely, Mike. Sometimes I don't know if I'm getting a good deal, bad deal. I mean, I try to pick some stuff from different regions that I like, but so many times I'll get home, I'll try the wine. It's just not the right thing. What I love is that Naked Wines goes a step further. They connect everyday wine drinkers and winemakers more closely than ever before by granting us access to unique, exclusive wines from around the globe. You can't buy these wines in stores. Plus, nakedwines.com funds the winemakers directly, which removes a huge 60% markup that they would, typically be, go to the distributors, and that savings is passed on right to us. They help remove that guesswork, as you said, so you can find exactly the type of wines that would pair with your taste. And then they ship a case of assorted bottles right to your door. Plus, with over 2 million customer reviews, people everywhere are finding out how simple it is to determine which wine is right for you. Mike, I got a wine right now here in front of me as we're cheersing. Scott Kelly, it's a Pinot Gris from Oregon. This is what I love. Every wine has a story. Look on the back, and it's the angel investors at nakedwines.com. They're able to make these things happen. Here's a guy who was able to, a winemaker is able to do the wine he wanted. He returned to the place where he grew up, the streams he used to fish with his father, fly fishing, and he made the wine he wants to make. I mean, how cool is that? You pour it out, even to go to a dinner party, you got a little story right there with it. It's just excellent. And Mike, are you ready for a killer offer?
Yeah.
Golf Podcast listeners get 12 bottles of nakedwines.com's favorite wines for just $79. You get $100 off your first order by visiting nakedwines.com/golf. It's a no-brainer. Less than $7 a bottle for wine that's curated and delivered to your doors. Guys, seriously, you're not going to beat this deal. Stop what you're doing. Go check out nakedwines.com/golf.
All right, Frank, listen, I can't control my excitement anymore about yesterday's big prize winning, but I'm going to have to keep everyone in suspense a little bit longer, and I'll tell you why. I am feeling as fresh as I've ever felt, fresh with new apparel. And, it's a new golf season. The summer is just about to take off, so I have all this new awesome golf apparel from our good friends at Atlas Premier. Today we announced one of 12 weeks worth of giveaways that this exploding new sport performance apparel company is offering to our listeners. I mean, this week the prize includes a polo, a hat, a 2-piece magnetic ball marker, and we're going to give away one of those a week plus a $500 shopping spree to Atlas Premier, more than once, I'm pretty sure, Frank.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with these guys, Atlas Premier is 1 year into their creation of a new clothing brand that brings excitement and performance into the forefront of golf. This season, you really need to step up your golf apparel game. As they say, Mike, out with the old, in with the new.
Exactly, Frank. Like I always say, keep it fresh. Now live your life off the course with better apparel. So you could join a group of golfers who are wearing Atlas on the course and in their daily lives. Be part of this exploding story. Check them out. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Atlas_Premier, or just check them out at their website, atlaspremier.com. That's atlaspremier.com.
Okay, Mike. So let me set the stage. All
Sure.
right, let me talk a little bit about, because I think we're both still flying high after this whole experience. So happens, kind of innocently enough. We've known 18 Birdies for quite some time. And one thing that I'm going to disclose before we get into any bit of this episode is that this is not a sponsorship. They're not paying us at all. Everything as far as 18 Birdies, it's just something that we've kind of had a relationship going with them for quite some time. I mean, way back, it was probably a year ago, we first got in touch with them, or they got in touch with us to have us as guests on their podcast. So we got to speak with Josh Hayes over there, episode 10, and they talked about our journey here with this show. So, we got introduced to them and we've been kind of toying around with the app ever since. And then, we just happened to get invited down to their media day, which they had in the city the other day. So Mike and I, we ride in, and it's kind of funny. And another thing we're going to kind of do for you guys is we're doing a new vlog, which we're going to have out on YouTube, and we're going to post it on Facebook too, because a lot of you guys have been asking for more of the behind the scenes stuff. I know we've been doing that on Instagram with our stories, and you guys said, yeah, keep the behind the scenes stuff coming. So we've been doing a little vlog and doing some video content, and I'm glad that we got this one on tape, because you can't beat this. One thing I can't express to you guys enough how Mike always tells me. I feel like every time I talk to him, he tells me how his dream is to play in a Pro-Am. The guy just wants to play in a Pro-Am, right?
Yeah.
So we get down there, 18 Birdies, they're doing a product demo, but one big part of it, we're in the simulator, and they're giving away an awesome grand prize where the winner gets to head down, all expenses paid, play in the Pro-Am at Bay Hill, for the Arnold Palmer Invitational next March. So Mike and I were on a team. We're doing a little scramble. There's some stiff competition, there was some stiff competition. So what happens is we play 3-hole scramble. I'll just kind of sum it up as quick as I can. 3-hole scramble. We end up tied at +1 with one other group. Right. And it's kind of a nail biter because we were sitting in the clubhouse.
I was nervous.
We came in, we were done first. We're sitting in the clubhouse waiting. And then, their last hole, they tied up. So it goes to a putting contest, right? And now we've got about 15 footer?
Yeah, about 15.
So they flip a coin. There's 2 other people ahead of us. They go first, second. I putt third. Mike putts last. I putt, lip out. Goes around it, lips out, right? Now Mike, I could tell this guy's nervous, but he pulls it together. We've talked how much about pressure, right? On past episodes.
Always.
Talk about your pressure putt. Everybody's watching. Mike's staring down a $15,000 prize package putt. Tell us about it, Mike.
Yeah, biggest putt of my life, right? Most on the line ever. So after I think the first girl went, the pro said, respect the speed. And I remembered that. And it's funny, this guy gave me a tip before I went. Kept the head down, that new tip he taught me while at this event. And dude, I drained it. I drained the putt, and I didn't have, and you'll see this in the video in the vlog when it comes out. I didn't have much emotion when it went in, Frank, because I think it took. I'm still in shock. You were stunned. I'm stunned. Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't even feel like I just won a $15,000 trip to play in a Pro-Am at Arnie's place at Bay Hill next March. But guess what? Here's the second big announcement. I got to bring Frank to caddy for me. So you're coming with me to caddy. Yeah, man. So that's the cool part is that you're able to bring one guest. So I'm going to be on the bag. I'm going to see what we can do, but it'll be a lot of fun. We'll probably do a podcast episode from down there. I can't wait to do it. And awesome. Huge thanks to 18 Birdies for putting this together. Actually, and I want to talk a little bit more about that, about the app, because what's so cool about the app is they give away a lot of huge prizes like this. The spot that Mike won is one of 12 possible, spots to play in this Pro-Am. And they're giving them away on the app. There's different ways you can play, different ways you can get involved. But I don't want to downplay how good it was that Mike, first of all, playing in a scramble, and Mike is like the simulator guy. We went into it with a lot of confidence because Mike's like, I play in simulators all winter long, man. I know how these things play. Right. And he carried us through that scramble because I could not hit the ball straight in this thing. I didn't know what it was. Now, we're using different clubs or whatever it is. Throw the excuses out the window. Mike's just like, I think it was just that you were that locked in on your dream prize. Because this guy's lacing them down the fairway, hitting greens. You almost had a chip in at one point. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, dude. I have to give you some credit, though. I mean, come on. I mean, that approach shot on the last hole. I mean, you put us right there, so we can chip it. So I was able to have that chip to that easy gimme par.
It was a team effort in that light, but for the most part, man, you deserve to sink that putt because you were carrying us.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me tell you something. I've got that new green. That Tour Green sent me here in my office. So between practicing on that fake green, practicing in simulators all winter long, that setup was my setup.
Yeah.
That was made for me, that whole event to win. And I don't know. It was cool, man. I'm still stoked about the whole thing.
It's so cool. I can't wait to get down there. We're going to bring the listeners along and, just have a great time down there with it. But okay, so let's do this real quick. I want to jump to our interview. We got to talk with John Haywood, who knows this app in and out. He's with 18Birdies. He was able to show us on the demonstration. They had that huge iPhone that was as tall as me, so everyone could see it. And they gave us a demonstration. We got to see a lot of the new features of the app, but who better to explain it than him? So let's just jump right into that interview and let's hear from John. All right, so we got John Haywood with the 18Birdies app here to explain a little bit more about it for anybody who somehow hasn't heard of it yet. I know it's kind of everywhere, but let's talk a little bit about it.
Great. Thanks so much for having me on, guys. So 18Birdies is, as you said, an app and technology platform. And what we aim to do is several things. First, we want to be an on-course utility for golfers. And what that means is a scorecard replacement or enhancement, and that you can actually keep score on the app, track your stats, play with your friends, and while you're actually playing, get real-time GPS distance to the hole. We have 35,000 courses in our database and growing, and that means that basically when you show up to your next course, next round of golf, open up the free 18Birdies app, start a round, and you'll be able to, in real time, get distances. No more looking for a sprinkler head, counting it off, trying to judge the distance. We'll just give it to you in a snap, and you'll be on your next shot.
And it's free too, right? You don't have to invest $300 in a laser rangefinder.
You can still invest $300 in a rangefinder if you want, but I certainly don't have one, and I find that I actually can't play golf. At least I don't want to play golf without it.
Yeah. So, and the other thing too, you talk about that, but there's live scoring. So if you're out there with a bunch of buddies and somebody's on a different hole, we get to see exactly where they're at.
Exactly. So one of the best things about the app is you can play with your friends. And the app, like all these social apps, is always better with friends. So you'll see their content when you're not together. But then when you're actually playing together, you link yourself in the same scorecard. You can keep score together. I can keep score for the whole group. You guys can keep your own scores. And kind of like Google Docs, everybody's score is kind of all naturally meshed in the cloud. You mentioned live scoring, which is one of our most exciting features. It's brand new. So once you actually start your round and you're actually playing, you can click this Go Live button, kind of like this trend across the web and across apps. And then everybody you're friends with in the feed, or if you post to Facebook, can actually see your scorecard even when they're not together. So they can turn on push notifications and get updates for your birdies, your eagles, or in my case, your double bogeys. And kind of as you play, through the round, you get those updates whether or not you're on the course with me or not.
Yeah, cool. And that's pretty cool. And the one thing I want to highlight, and you showed us over there in the demonstration, was these side games. I'm a huge quote unquote gambler on the course. I love it. Everyone loves it pretty much. So tell us a little bit about some of the stuff you could do with that.
Yeah, so we have about 7 or 8 side games in the app. We call it game bets. And just to be clear, we're not betting real money. We have betting units in the app. Kind of what you play for is up to you. Right. But we have your traditional games like skins and Nassau and Vegas, dots. And we're adding new formats all the time. So we have actually a manual points calculator, so you can just add points if you don't have the game yet. There's been a lot of requests for different games, and we have some good stuff coming. I can't quite preview it, but a couple games coming in the next few weeks to add to it. So a lot of great functionality for on the course. And what's great about it is you can kind of customize the games as you like, and we do all the math for you. So whether you're setting up kind of multiple games at once. We take all the kind of the guesswork out of it, and you're not just trusting your buddy who may be better at math than you to make sure you're kind of all the money's flowing or the betting units are flowing in the right direction.
That's right. So tell us a little bit about our listeners how they can get their hands on the 18Birdies app.
Absolutely. So the 18Birdies app is available on both iOS and Android. As mentioned, it's a free app. So all you need to do is go to your kind of app store of choice and search 18Birdies. That's 18Birdies. And basically click download. It's free, and you'll just get started, and you can play, use it when you play, but hopefully you come back in and you're looking at your stats and trend lines and analysis over time. It's probably a good plug. Everyone gets this profile, a me section of the tab, where you see your total rounds, your handicap, which will calculate over time as you play. You can see your stats kind of relative to the handicap, and even compete against your friends on leaderboards. And one other thing I want to highlight is our tournament capabilities. So we have this feature we were talking about a little bit earlier, but I want to plug to your listeners is virtual tournaments. So you can set up events for multiple groups when you're actually playing the same course and have a little leaderboard. You can also do a virtual tournament and actually compete against your buddies, even if they're all over the country, all over the world, as long as they're playing on one of our 35,000 courses.
That's so cool. And yeah, we've had our listeners for a long time saying how we get a chance to play against each other. So this is the way we're going to do it.
We're going to set that up.
Definitely check out the 18Birdies app. Download it. It's excellent. And like I said, why have that pencil and paper anymore? This is the way to do it. And it's fun. It's interactive and it's easy. That's what I really like.
Can I highlight one last thing for you guys?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Which we need to talk about, which is our Dream Games promotion. So as mentioned, it's all free. And in addition to just giving this utility, we have this new program called Dream Games. And the whole idea is to reward golfers just for playing golf and give them access to once-in-a-lifetime dream golf experiences. So if you play a round of golf with 18 birdies, and you actually have to play it, we have some methods to make sure it's a real round. We'll give you something we call golf bucks. Golf bucks are a virtual currency, no real value outside of our app. But what you do is once you play a round, you get 20 golf bucks. And each 5 golf bucks is redeemable for a scratch card in the app. And with that, you can actually win prizes, instant win prizes, like 18 Birdies swag, like towels and hats, as well as balls from, in this case, Srixon and some Cleveland wedges. So we're giving away clubs and balls. And there's also some really great grand prizes, including a spot in the Arnold Palmer Bay Hill Pro-Am Invitational next year. So a lot of great stuff. We'd love for you guys to check it out. And, like you said, it's a free app. Yep. There's a great incentive just to kind of get utility in your stats and trend lines, but then also this kind of fun little loyalty program we're creating just for playing golf. So hope you get out there, check it out, download our app for free in the App Store. And if you'd like more information, come to 18birdies.com.
That's it, man. Winning prizes just for doing what we love to do.
Absolutely.
Golf. That's great. So, John, I want to thank you again for having us down here. Loved using the app today. Tons of fun. And I can't wait to try it out when I get back out on the course.
All
right. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, Mike. So really cool stuff. I mean, like you, I just toyed around with the app a little bit before we got down there, but I haven't been like a hardcore user. But man, I'm all in now. First of all, how do you beat that? It's free.
Yeah.
And you get chances to win prizes for playing golf. So you can't beat that. Plus, if you're a type of guy who does a lot of side bets, this is the thing for you. Because it keeps track of everything. It's so easy. Right. You just kind of put it in. Plus, I love the live scoring. We've kind of toyed around with that before, but it's so cool. If you got a group of a couple guys out there, more than one foursome, just knowing where all your buddies are at with that live leaderboard is really cool. Plus, you can follow along with it at home, whatever. It keeps those scores, those running scores going. And the GPS function was really cool in it too. Plus, they're really, I can't stress this enough, like a really dedicated group of guys and gals down there. We got a chance to meet them all. And they're like really hardcore on that user experience, asking us questions, asking feedback. What do you guys think? What can we do to keep this coming and keep getting it better and better? Like they're dedicated. This isn't just another fly by night, golf GPS app. As John was saying, it's available for iOS, it's available for Android, but they're putting some serious thought into this thing, and it's fun. And like I said, it's free. You use it and you get a chance to win stuff. And like you said, win a chance to play with Mike, so to speak, down there at Bay Hill. So that was really cool. I mean, what were some of your favorite aspects of it?
Well, first things first, Frank, 2 words for 18 Birdies. Killer technology. I mean, I was blown away by the demonstration that they gave us. I mean, hats off to all of you there. If you're listening, Team 18 Birdies, the technology is awesome. I mean, you've come up with a really awesome app. And like you said, it's free. It's a no-brainer. Download it and just mess around with it. Join the little golf community. You're going to find yourself playing throughout the season with the same group of guys. You can do those side bet games. I love that. That's a great feature. Instead of taking out the scorecard and adding them up, $1, $1 or whatever, or units, however you want to call it, right? Like John mentioned, betting units. But, Frank, all this technology keeps getting better with this game. The biggest thing people have a problem with, the hurdle, I guess, is taking your phone out during the round. I mean, A lot of us still don't want to do it. We're just going to rely on going out buying the $300 rangefinder or buying the $150 watch and making sure it's charged the night before and then wearing it and then setting it and doing all that. But I have my phone out there all the time anyway. I love the phone apps for golf. And by far, I mean, this one so far, I got to say, is probably my new favorite.
Yeah, and I don't want to jump too far ahead with them because I'll let the they're going to be rolling out a lot of new stuff and some of the stuff, we can't talk about yet, but what I can tell you for sure is their understanding of that fact of like some people don't want to have that phone, and they are working on some really creative ways so that you don't even have to touch it. But for now, think about it like this. At the end of each hole, what do? You got to write on a scorecard, right? So how's it that much different at the end of the hole? I mean, you don't have to interact with it every shot if you don't want to. At the end of the hole, that's when you pop everything in. And I'm telling you got to use it to see it. But all of the interface is so easy. Boom, boom, boom. You enter everything you need and it automatically calculates everything from the leaderboard to, like I said, the side bets and stuff like that. Plus it's got that really cool built-in, social function where you can it has like a feed and you can post updates and you could do a little trash talking or whatever you want to do on the side with some of your buddies. But overall, really excellent. But here's what I like the most about it. And this is why I got kind of amped up about it when we first started talking. I'm like, guys, tell me you've got a way that we can put together a tournament for our listeners, because it's like every single day we get emails or people mentioning in the Facebook group, like, let's get an outing together. And it's just so hard. Our listeners are spread out across the globe. We could try to do some regional things, but it's just like, we want a way to get everybody involved. So we're going to have a big announcement. I started to talk about it a little bit in the podcast Facebook group, but we're going to have a big announcement. We're going to be working with the guys over there. This amazing little app tool has the capability to do virtual tournaments. Okay. So we are going to finally put together a nice Golficity golf podcast tournament. Right now, Mike and I were working with all of our sponsors to get as many great prizes as we can, because we want to make some serious prize packs for the winners. And it's going to be simple. You download the free app. You're going to jump into it. We're going to give you guys a month long to play a round. And then that round is going to count towards the tournament. We're going to have some structure in there with handicaps. Again, the app handles everything. It's so hands off and easy for us, which I love, but, handles handicaps. So everybody can get in, everybody can play. We can level that playing field, and we can have fun with it. And we'll be able to talk on there. And like I said, we'll have a feed and we'll be able to kind of interact. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have some bragging rights in the Facebook group. I can't wait to do it. I think that's why I was most amped up to hear about this, and really great stuff, right?
Yeah. And let me put this out there early, Frank. It's a game of honesty, right?
Yes.
So let's not card the 99 you shot last Saturday and decide to restart and, put in the 84 you shot the next weekend. Let's all be honest about it, because that's what's going to make this, I think, a great virtual tournament.
No doubt. Golf, that's one of the things I love about the sport. It's on your honor. You score yourself type of thing. So that's really important. I mean, we see it on the PGA Tour where these guys, they own up to, and they give themselves a stroke penalty. It's not like a referee is coming out there and throwing a flag. So, it's important, but I can't wait. We're going to have more details for you guys. We're looking at doing this thing for the month of July. We'll let you know as soon as we have more information. But for sure, we're going to do that in the Facebook group. Also, if you're not already in our Facebook group, make sure you jump in there. Just go to Facebook, search the Golf Podcast. It's a free group. Just join up. The other great part about it is, like I said, we're giving away stuff like crazy over there. I'm loving working with Atlas Premier as our sponsor. These guys are so awesomely generous, helping us give back. So many great prize packs every week. We're just going to be announcing the winners there. So you want to be in there. You want to have a chance to win. You want to hear who the winners are, be in the Facebook group. Plus, just such a great group of guys and gals posting stuff about their game and learning from each other, supportive stuff. I love it. And I love too, being at work and seeing some of these pictures of people playing all over the world. Mm-hmm. Love it. Makes me a little jealous, and it's the best thing. So really cool stuff. But Mike, I know what everybody is listening for. They want to hear the interview with Paige. It was so cool getting to speak with her.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's do a quick word from our sponsor, and then let's play that interview. All right?
Yeah, let's do it. You may know the USGA mostly for their 14 annual championships and competitions. Their championships are widely looked upon as the ultimate tests in golf. But there's a lot more about the USGA that you may not know.
Yeah, the USGA's innovation team has just come up with a resource management app that helps course superintendents know how to better allocate their resources and help ensure a better experience for golfers. Plus, the USGA's handicap system helps level the playing field and makes the game more social.
And along with the R&A in Scotland, the USGA is modernizing the game's rules and even asking us for feedback. And you're invited to share with them this feedback anytime online. I mean, there's a lot to love about golf, and the greatness of the game brings out the best in all of us. So discover more at usga.org.
Okay, Mike. So while we were down there, obviously at this media event, we had to take a minute and get a chance to speak with Paige Spiranac, because she's everywhere right now. You know, she's blowing up. I mean, you see her all over the place, Instagram, Facebook. She was on the cover of Golf Digest. And that reminds us way back to, when we had Marty Hackle on the show. He's the one who got the dresser for that, and everyone was talking about it. Really great, making some huge waves. Arguably what I would say is really helping in another way grow the game. So absolute pleasure speaking with her. And I can't stress this enough. Down to earth, so nice. I mean, we didn't have anything pre-set up. She didn't have to jump on the show, just like so accommodating, such a nice girl. We just went over to her like, hey, Paige, you got a couple of minutes. We want to talk to you about, on the podcast. And she's like, absolutely, guys, just amazing in that way. So let's play that interview now, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. All right. So we're here with Paige Spiranac. Paige, blowing up on Instagram. Life must be a whirlwind right now. What's going on?
It's pretty crazy. I just hit, I think, like 1 million followers on Instagram, so I still can't believe that people find me interesting enough to follow my journey. But everything's really good. Have had a busy week doing pro-ams at the LPGA ShopRite and a lot of cool stuff.
That's great. And so that's what kind of brings us here, 18Birdies. Tell us about how you got involved with them and what you're doing with 18Birdies.
Yeah, 18Birdies reached out. They're an awesome app. I think they're the best golf app out there. And I'm not just saying that because I'm with them. It's really cool because I always try to keep my stats. I know a lot of people keep their stats, and it's hard. You do it on a scorecard, and you have to write everything down, but I can keep my stats easily on my phone. I can play against a lot of people, which is nice. I always get people saying, oh, you suck. Like, I can beat you, but now you can play against me. So
yeah, that's
put your money where your mouth is, right?
Exactly.
And even I think the app lets you do some side games and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, they have like side betting, so we could bet on a match if we want. A lot of really cool stuff. And we're here today because they have a little contest to the winner gets to play a round of golf with me.
That's great. And that's going to be down at Bay Hill, right?
Any course of our choosing. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it could be even better, but Bay Hill would be pretty awesome. That's
great. So yeah, I've got to try to play a hard track and see, like I said, put your money where your mouth is a little bit, right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. I just heard Shadow Creek. I never played there. I'd love to play there. So.
You've never played there before? Oh, Shadow's probably one of my, for sure, top three, maybe top three. I would say top three courses I've ever played. It's awesome.
That's cool. I've never been there. Have you played Vegas courses?
No, not yet. I haven't been out there. That desert heat, though. I got to check it out. Yeah. So what do we have on the horizon for you? Anything else? Anything big things coming up?
So last year, I was my first year as a professional, and I was just like, I'm going to play week in and week out and kind of want to prove everyone that I'm, very serious about golf. And to be completely honest, it wasn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be. It was really difficult, and yeah, it was really hard on me, and I played around 20 events, got a win, made money in all but 2, and barely broke even. So financially it was really difficult, mentally it was really difficult. Every term I played in, I would always get, you just quit, you're not good enough, you shouldn't be doing this. And it's really hard because I'm just starting out my career, and it feels like everyone just wants me to fail. So it was really difficult. So this year, I've needed kind of a mental break, and I've been playing competitively since 13, and I was like, I kind of need a break. So this year I'm doing a lot more media stuff. I'm an ambassador for CyberSmile, which is an anti-bullying organization. So I go around to schools and I talk to middle schoolers about cyberbullying and how to be a professional golfer, and how being a collegiate golfer has really helped me. So a lot of really cool stuff that I'm really passionate about, and it's a lot more fun too.
Yeah, I was about to say, a lot more fun than just beating it over the head each week trying to make it in these tournaments. But that's great. And I imagine a lot of travel too, seeing the world.
A lot of travel, which is really awesome. When I was doing golf, we get to travel, but you don't really get to go to really cool places, and you're stuck inside all the time. So kind of doing the media work is I have more free time to kind of explore places. So it's been really good.
That's great. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time because we've got to warm up here. We got some big tournaments. Put your money where your mouth is. We got to see who can win this thing. So again, we appreciate you coming on the show. We're looking forward to checking out 18Birdies. And thanks again for talking with us.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Paige.
Okay, Mike. So again, here's the thing. Sometimes people, you see something on Instagram or something like that, you see Paige or whatever, and you just think, okay, here's a quote unquote hot golf girl or whatever and stuff like that. But you don't always see like what really goes on in the background. First of all, Paige is an amazing golfer. Getting to see her play a little bit in the simulator, but even more so, I was astonished with her teaching ability. Let's put it this way. Just 10 minutes with her, she seriously did more for my short game than I've had in 30 minutes with some other teaching pros. She showed me like ball alignment, what I was doing wrong. I was showing her out like with my 52-degree wedge. Sometimes I was, hitting them a little bit thin. She just fixed that ball position a little bit for me. I mean, identified in a second. She pulls out her phone. She's showing me on her phone, like, highlighting my swing and stuff like that. So I want to just like, for anybody who just thinks again that she's just another pretty face, like get that out of your head. She's got a YouTube channel coming out where she's going to be doing more with instruction. And as you heard her say in the interview, she wants to get out there. She wants to play competitively, but it's a shame. I mean, you see something like 1 million followers, but then you don't realize, the other side of that is that she gets hated on a lot.
Right.
I mean, it's tough for her because it goes two ways, right? She goes to play more professionally, like LPGA tour type of stuff. And then people there are hating on her saying like, you shouldn't be here. Then the other side, when she goes into and she's, posting stuff on Instagram, as you saw on, on Twitter today, she was tweeting that like, by the time she woke up in the morning, she had 5 messages already of people saying, what are you doing? You're not that hot. You shouldn't be posting on Instagram. It's just amazing the level of hate that can be out there sometimes. And yet you meet her face to face. I love to see someone, do that to her face to face because this is one of the kindest people that I've met in a long time. It's kind of like weird to me.
I couldn't agree anymore. She was a sweetheart. And you're absolutely right about the teaching ability. She taught me a couple of things. But you know what? About all the haters and things like that, it just shows me that Paige is doing something right. Yeah. I mean, she's a brand and she built it, and that's awesome. I'm jealous of it. I mean, hats off to you, Paige. If you're listening to this, I'm sure you are. Keep doing your thing. Because I mean, obviously people are recognizing it, and I was excited to meet you. I was in the position where I was excited to meet her. So she must be doing something right.
Right. Exactly.
Great golfer, great personality. Like I said, she was a sweetheart, and I thank you so much, Paige, for coming on and talking to us because it was a really cool interview, and it was awesome to get to know you for those, half hour that we hung out with you.
Right. And I love how she's given back. She talked about how she's, an ambassador with Cyber Smile, anti-cyber bullying, because that's becoming a big thing, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, whatever. People are putting themselves out there, especially a lot of young kids. They're putting themselves out there, and then they're getting whatever it may be, like troll and people putting terrible comments and stuff. And you don't realize what that does to a person. And I think it's because of that medium of being so far away and it's through a phone. You don't realize the humanity, so to speak, on the other side. But again, like when you meet somebody in person, you realize that this is a person, this is a really nice person. And then you realize like, I don't understand how people can kind of do that. But, again, I wish her all the best. I know, we'll continue to support her in every way that we can because I love to see that. I love to see when someone is A, putting themselves out there, B, working on growing the game that we love. I mean, when you talk to Paige, you realize that she has that passion. She really is passionate about the game. She's passionate about competition. And then somebody who gives back. She's like, what does she need to do to give back? She doesn't have to do that. You see
right.
a million other famous people with millions of followers, and they don't need to jump into anything. They don't need to be doing, charity stuff or whatever. But here she is, like I said, working with Cyber Smile, anti-bullying, all those types of things. So that's just really cool. But, great stuff. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox about that, but that was just a thing that I kind of like wanted to sink my teeth into after meeting her and realizing how nice a person this is. When you see, people like attacking her, you're just like, come on, let's grow up a little bit. But anyway, really cool. And like I said, she's working with 18Birdies. She's involved in it. I think another one of the giveaways they're doing. And you got to check out the app to find out exactly how all that structure works. But one of the things they're doing, and Paige was mentioning it, they're doing a giveaway where you get to win a round playing with her. And if you do, I mean, not only is it going to be an awesome experience, but I'm telling you right now, listen to her. Cause she fixed my short game. That was the one thing I went up to her and I'm like, Paige, I with my like short wedges, I'm pulling everything left. You know, I'm a righty. I'm pulling everything left. I'm like, I think it's my grip. Maybe my grip's too tight. And she's like, show me your swing. Let's figure this out. You know, she just throws me her 52-degree wedge from her bag. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. And we're hitting them. And then I'm telling you, it was 2 seconds in. She's like, I know exactly what you're doing wrong. She's like, you may not see it. Let me videotape it so you can see it. She pulls out her phone, tapes it, and she's like, that ball is just too far ahead in your stance. Boom. She fixed it. So she knows what she's talking about. Really cool. Really cool stuff.
Totally agree. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have nothing more to say about it. It was just that great.
So anyway, again, wrapping things up really quickly. 18 birdies. Check out the app. Get on there. Mike's holding up this sign that he won.
Too excited.
Still
Sorry.
amped up about it. But anyway, check out the app. Really great stuff. Really fun, easy to use, free. I mean, do I have to make it more of a no-brainer? Probably not. But again, we're going to be back to you guys. We're going to find out exactly the logistics of this, but we're going to put that virtual tournament together. You're going to be able to play, you know, your home course, post around. And then what we'll do is we're going to put together some prize packs and get that out to you guys. Also, like I said, next March, we're going to be down there now at Bay Hill. We're going to be, I'm not sure yet what professional you're going to be paired up with, but I'm sure we're going to try to, you know, grab them on the podcast. We got to see.
If I had to pick one, guess who it would be?
Here we go. Is it going to be Ricky? Is it going to be
That's it.
Justin
That's it, you
Thomas?
nailed it.
Though I don't know. I wouldn't mind playing with him. That guy, that's an inspiration because he's smaller than I am, and he just blasts the ball.
Yeah, true.
You know, you can't lose.
So, I mean,
anyway.
the same can go for Ricky. I just think I'd have more fun with him. And plus, you know, tried to get Justin on the show a couple times, and he hasn't really responded. So I'm not happy with him right now.
That's true. Well, hey, now he'd have no choice to be on the show.
Exactly.
Because you get paired
with
up
a
and be
microphone
like,
in his face.
Yeah, I'd be like, man, I don't know. Karma, it just works around. Now you're here.
Right.
But anyway, like I said, check out the app, download it on iTunes and Android devices. You're going to like it. And then give us the feedback. Tell us what you think. Post it in the Facebook group because, like I said, these guys super down to earth. The guys who are with the app, you know, John Haywood and the other guys, they are Josh Hayes. You know, they're all awesome. They're all really accessible and they want that feedback. I'm not kidding about that. They really want to hear it because they want to keep making this app even better and better. So let us know and we'll relay that to them. All right. Again, before we wrap it up, I once again want to thank our sponsor, the USGA. You may know the USGA mostly for its championships, but did you know the USGA is working to modernize golf's rules by making them easier to understand and apply? And they're working with golf facilities to help reduce their dependency on critical resources, including a reliance on water. Plus, the USGA's handicap system is used in more than 40 countries around the world. There's a lot to love about golf, and the greatness of the game brings out the best in all of us. Discover more at usga.org. So, okay, Mike, one more thing to wrap up. I feel like we're telling you guys every week, like new places to follow us. But again, we're just trying to like keep up with the demand and what you guys want to see and the requests that we get. Make sure on YouTube, again, everywhere it's at Golficity. Follow us on YouTube because we're going to be rolling this new blog out. We got 2 new episodes that we're going to kick off with. One I won't mention yet because we want to highlight that in 2 weeks. The other one is going to be this very first vlog is going to be our trip down into Midtown Manhattan in order to go to the media event for 18 Birdies, and you'll get to see on the video Mike make the winning putt. You'll probably see my lip out. I don't know. Mike was a little nervous holding that camera.
Yep, I was.
But we're gonna show you guys that. So check that out on the vlog. We'll post that too in the Facebook group. So make sure you get in there, and we'll see everybody again next week.